Hey everyone, Dave Dubeau here with another episode of the Property Profits Real Estate Podcast. Today, zooming in from beautiful Brampton, Ontario, Mr. Rav Toor. How are you doing today, Rav?
I'm doing great, Dave. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Long time no see, man. Just kidding.
I mean, virtually anyways. I'd love to meet you in person, but
Yeah.
I saw you last week. You're on my show, so thanks for doing that.
Well, thank you for having me. So that's why I'm kind of joking around about this. So Rav has a TV show called Everyday Investors, and I had the pleasure of being on his show. So again, thanks very much for that there, Rav. And today we're going to talk about a little bit about your background with real estate investing. And then I want to just kind of dial things in on creating credibility when it comes to being a real estate entrepreneur, which you've done a very, very good job with. So why don't we start at the beginning? Why don't you just kind of give us the very quick recap of your life in real estate?
You don't want me to start from ovum and a sperm and kind of making little progress since then, or?
Well, no. I prefer we fast forward a few years if you don't mind.
I'm born and raised in Kingston, Ontario. Single mom who was a nurse struggling to learn English. And, Dave, I was blessed and cursed, because if I'm not interested in it, then I don't do it, which is, not the healthiest way. We should deny ourselves and do things that are right, even if we don't like doing it, because I'm sure there's a reward at the end. But that wasn't me. So I kind of got asked to leave 4 different high schools. And then when I was 16 years old, they said, let's throw this guy in what's called co-op. I don't know if they still do co-op now, but so here I am in Kingston, Ontario, small city. And I was co-oping the largest real estate brokerage in that city, and it was pretty healthy. And back then,
what does that even mean? Sorry, co-oping when you're 16, co-oping
So in high school, you once, twice a week, you take, the afternoon, and they put you in some sort of place that you're interested in. And I was just like, I want to make money. Real estate interests me. I'm 16. So they put me in that. Another person may, job shadow being a nurse. Another person might job shadow being a mechanic.
So the same idea as I've heard of that in university. I've never heard of it in high school. So very, very interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And so that was my, my first taste. And then me and my mom, but with the knowledge, bought our first townhouse and then rented it out. And kind of the rest is history. I love 3 things, and I've been grateful to be able to do those 3 things. I love spiritual matters. I like film and TV, a little bit of acting here and there, goofing around. And I love real estate investing. And so I've been able to do, all 3 currently. I've got the TV show, and I still audition once in a while here and there for different episodic stuff. We have a church here that we started called Simple Church. And I'm always investing, continually investing. So I've been blessed to be able to do those 3 things that I fell in love with as, kind of a young man. So
very, very cool. So you started off with that townhouse with your mom when you were 16 years old. What has your real estate journey kind of looked like? What kind of deals have you done? I don't think you're in Kingston anymore. Lovely city. I love Kingston. It's probably my favorite city in Ontario that I'm familiar with anyway.
Yeah. So, then I moved to Vancouver, moved to Toronto, and did some of the film and TV stuff. And then I became a Christian, and I started interning with a church. And then, when you get married and you have kids, you want to be able to provide, and a minister's salary is not the most lucrative. And so I said, okay, I'll go do what I know I could do, but it's going to be golden handcuffs, and I'll do it for a while. So I became a realtor, and then I became a broker owner, had my own franchise, I was doing 30, 40 deals for friends and family a year, investing, taking their money, putting it in investment. So JVing, partnership is just a great word for partnering. So I would take people's money, I would invest it, and then we would split the profits 50-50. So I did that into my 30s. I'm turning 50 this May. So I did that. And then, yeah, probably around 40, 41, did that for a decade. And then I said, you know what? I want to be the passive investor. So now I would lend my money out or put it into deals. And so that's what I've been doing for the last decade, just being a passive investor, land development, have somebody doing some stock options for me, put money into a flip, that kind of stuff. My son is 20 years old. He's at York University, but he trades options and he's a realtor. And I think he did 3 deals last week, so Rav does all the negotiations and he does all the legwork. And, as I'm training him, and so just having fun with the family,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Rav. Well, one of the things I really admire about what you're doing is, back up. So I talk with people about raising capital. That's kind of my shtick. And one of the big parts of that is being seen as a credible real estate professional or authority in the eyes of your prospective investors, and all sorts of different ways to do that. Simple ways, not so simple ways. So, simple ways would be just the way you show up, the way you dress, the way you speak, how your materials look, those sort of things, how you present your deals, your website, those kind of simple kind of things. And then there are more advanced strategies. And I always say, the number one way to be seen as a real estate expert is to have your own reality TV show. Okay, so Flip That House or whatever. I mean, if you got your own TV show, people just automatically assume that you must know what the heck you're doing. And the other way is to write a book. Now, I always say the TV show kind of tongue in cheek because I don't really know personally very many people that have their own TV show, but I know you. And you've got your own TV show. So I love that. So talk to us a little bit about your Everyday Investor TV show and how that came to be.
Yeah. So again, my background was in film and TV. I've been on set in speaking roles with Daniel Craig, Mark Wahlberg, Glenn Close. I've done 30 speaking roles in film and TV, and I always loved real estate investing. I've been doing it for 17 years, the TV show. So 17 years ago, I was 33, 34 years old. A friend of mine was starting a show on real estate. And because I had the background, he asked me to host this. So my show's been, whether it's through Rogers, on Rogers, City TV, Bloomberg, and now we choose to do CHCH because we can do whatever we want. I can have call to actions. So that's kind of how it happened. A friend got me started on it, and he was producing it, asked me to host it, and then I took it over and I self-produce and have sponsorship and kind of the rest is history. And just kind of my style, the Everyday Investor. You were in a bit of an anomaly because my show is a different investment strategy picked apart every single week. Yours happened to be, learn how to make money by raising money. So I can't wait for that one to come out in a few weeks. But that's what happened, Dave. Yeah, it's just kind of, again, I think it all goes back to relationships. I think relationships are the most important thing in life. When you are curious about people, you want to know people, there's no agenda. I think things just happen. I'm anything I've done and touched, I can trace it back to a relationship. Yeah. That wasn't, it wasn't like, okay, Dave, let's me and you start an outdoor storage business. And I just call you up. No, there was a relationship. You've been on my show. I've been on yours. We talk. I mean, I'm not getting anything out of this. You're not getting anything out of being on my show. It's just, hey, let's just talk. And if viewers can get something out of it, then great. So I think in that, genius happens, magic happens. And that's kind of what's been the fruit of my life, my entire life. I just love being with people and with no agenda. And then from there, things happen.
So let's say, Rav, and I don't seriously want to do this, but just out of curiosity, if you were giving me advice, Dave Dubeau, you're in Kamloops, BC. If you wanted to start your own TV show, here are the steps that you should take. So if somebody's saying, how the heck can I start my own TV show? I like what Rav's doing. How can I do that in my neck of the woods?
Yeah, so there's two ways to do it. One's a lot easier, and that's the way I do it. You can pitch to any of the networks. This is the hard way. You can pitch to any of the networks, a synopsis, and if they like it, on a business type show, for example, for Dave, then they'll pick it up and away you go. And I did that for many years. Or you can buy the ad time, get a bunch of sponsors, and go that route. And that's what I've done. I pay for the time. And the reason why I like that better, I'm friends with Scott McGilvery. I'm sure everybody knows who Scott is. Income Property, HGTV. And he said to me, Rav, the way that you're doing it is the better way, because he produces a show. If it doesn't get the demand, then it's canceled. The way I'm doing it, we buy the airtime. So it really can't get canceled. And so how do we pay for it? It's not cheap. You could pay $2,000-$3,000 a week just for the airtime, depending on what network, and even more than that. So you times that by 50 weeks. It's a couple $100,000 just for airtime. Forget about production. So you got to have a lot of sponsorship. The people that believe in you, whether it's in the real estate investment world, whether it's insurance, whether it's mortgage, whether it's developer, accounting. So I have different sponsors that pay for it, and a few more bucks to put some ketchup on the craft dinner for my family, and that's kind of what you do. So you call up the networks, you buy the airtime. Before you do that, you need sponsorship. Before you get sponsorship, you need to be the expert in your field. I mean, you've got to really niche out and be the expert. That's why I love what you do. I mean, I don't know anybody else that teaches how to raise money. I mean, you've really niched it out, and so you're the go-to guy. If you could figure out even how to do 13 episodes around that, and then just repeat it 4 times in a year. So.
Right. Yeah, and I guess the beautiful thing is it doesn't really, well, production-wise it does, because I know you've got a crew and you go to the studio and you do it all. Do you do it at the actual studio of the station that your show?
No. The station just airs it. Okay. I do all the rest of my own. So we're downtown Toronto in a studio. Since COVID, I do it CNN style, and I built a little studio in my home. And I think I kind of like that better, because otherwise you wouldn't have been on my show. Right. And so I think I might keep it that way going forward, having it CNN style, where I can have guests from all over the world, really, such as yourself.
Yeah, very, very smart. And then the other cool thing I would imagine is you're not locked into any one particular station, right? You can go anywhere, right?
I can go anywhere, but there's certain rules, right? CRTC Canadian regulations, and you can't be a sales pitch unless you're on a certain. I mean, my show is not a sales pitch, but if you wanted to be one, if there was a lot of call to action, there's certain networks that will take you. There's other ones that won't. Mm-hmm. So every network's different, because they're all governed by the Canadian regulations, the CRTC.
Have you had any experience? I don't even know if they do this anymore, but kind of the Wayne's World sort of thing, where it's a local cable TV station that's looking for community shows and that sort of thing. Have you got any experience with that sort of scenario?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But again, you want your reach to be as wide as possible. Yeah. So I've never just done it for one little city. It's always been across a larger, several million people, because you want the exposure. Nothing wrong with just having a home. If I was in Kingston, if I lived there and I was going to do it for the 100,000 people that are there, then that might be fun. But for what I do, I want to teach people on a larger scale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And then also because you've got sponsors, they want to get as much exposure as possible and as big of an area as possible that they can reach.
Yeah,
very, very cool.
Yeah. But I think credibility is the key. I mean, I think 2 things for anything in life: you've got to be trustworthy and competent, right? I mean, I could have my cousin Vinny, who I trust, but I don't know if I'm going to give him money for a deal if he's not competent. Or we've seen many people who we know are competent, but something just rubs us the wrong way, right? You need both to come into play. You need somebody who's competent and trustworthy, and that's where you attract people. I mean, it's just exactly what you teach. I think anything in life is about attracting, right? It's not, it's not,
No,
it's not,
no
it's
like
not,
or trust, right? That's what it's all about.
that's right. Yeah. And not even so much who you know, but who knows you, likes you, and trusts you. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, no, very, very well said. Rav, it's time flies when we're having fun, my friend. I really appreciate your insight. I love what you're doing with your life. I mean, you've really structured it so that you're dialing in on the most important things. You've got your own church going, you've got your own TV show going, you've got passive real estate going, which finances a lot of that, plus the lifestyle that you like with your family. So well done.
Thanks, man. Well, listen, it's like, again, it's the fruit of relationships. And so I appreciate, us even building one. So thank you for having me on.
All right. And Rav, if people want to find out more about you or watch the show, what should they do? Where can they go?
Everydayinvestor.com.
That's as easy as it gets. Everydayinvestor.com. Thank you very much, Rav. Great talk. All right, everybody.
David.
Take care, and we'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye-bye. Well, hey there. Thanks for tuning into the Property Profits podcast. If you like this episode, that's great. Please go ahead and subscribe on iTunes. Give us a good review. That'd be awesome. I appreciate that. And if you're looking to attract investors and raise capital for your deals, then I'm going to invite you to get a complimentary copy of my newest book, right back there. There it is. The Money Partner Formula. You can get a PDF version at investorattractionbook.com. Again, investorattractionbook.com. Take care.